Good day, good day, good day. Hi, Shay. What's up? How's it going? Wow, what a day. What a day, what a day. Hold on a second, guys. You know how we do. Let's sort out the trolling. Let us sort out the trolling, my loves. Gotta go into the studio and do what I gotta do. Hi Melanie. Hi, Tia Tati. Social Spectator. Melanie, what's up? What's up? We're gonna catch up. There's quite a bit to catch up on. Hold on. Bit of a typo there in my title. Can't have that. Right, so let's save that. And let's go to that. And just make sure that it's on subscribers. Yeah, not so harsh these days. 20 minutes is enough. Okay. Wagwan. Hey Sandra, wagwan. Big up on yourself. We're gonna chit chat. We're gonna catch up. We're gonna chit chat. We're gonna catch up. You understand? We have a number of topics to cover for this session. So let us begin, shall we? Let us begin. Boy, I don't know it's what happened in a planka shop today. So people, I pass by planka shop little and I listen to planka shop. Taking in the last of the lives I can take in at length before I head back to work. And me no know. Me see DMG over there. DMG did look like sir, it did a good chip. Me never really understand what I want until me taking, you understand, right? So we're going to talk about charitable giving. We're going to talk about the shelter situation in Jamaica, and we're going to update on the Jayden case. We're going to go through a number of things, but we're going to start, first of all, by hailing up everybody that is in the class. So let us see. Miss Linda Paris, big up yourself. Sandra, I see you. Melanie Forbes, Tia Tati, Social Spectator. Shay, yes. Welcome to HTK's live. Welcome to the live, people. I would like you all to like up the live as soon as you come on. But I don't even know where to start with this today, but we don't say when we say something, I know people are going to get anyway. But let me just get into this. So, I came up before we spoke about Shanae. We spoke about Shanae's situation, and I was quite annoyed for her because of the criticisms that she was facing underneath that video. I think since then, it is clear that there are people who are offended by the different perspectives of not just myself, other people as well. And I've given it some thought. I've given it some reflection. Because you know how I am. I am a very reflective person. I don't just stick my heels into the ground and say I believe what I believe and to hell with anybody else's perspective. I spoke to a number of people. And I can understand more so now how some people might feel. I still stand by what I believe in, but I have more of an understanding of where some people are coming from. And you know how it is, we are all entitled to our different opinions, right? You're entitled to yours, I'm entitled to mine. But this is what I'm going to say, particularly to the two donors who took themselves away because of my opinion. Please do not return. I know exactly who you are. Don't come back. Because as much as we are entitled to our different opinions, what I don't want are hiram scarums on my platform. Because you see, this platform is for graduates, it's for free thinkers, it's for people who can understand that different opinions can coexist and still have a mutual respect for each other. If I have to think like you in order for you to accept me for who I am, please exit. And do that without hesitation. There will be no love lost and you won't be missed. Okay? So just for the record. However, for those of you who have disagreed with me and messaged me off air to explain why you disagreed with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate your ability to express your difference in opinion without taking offense to my perspective, right? This is what it's about. It's about dialogue. It's even about debating. And it's about opening up one's mind to different viewpoints without carrying feelings. I don't want nobody where I carrying a belly around me. So well done to you too. And like I said, don't return. Don't type on my page, don't return. All right. In addition to that, I saw that Shanae came out and she did another little video there. And she felt she needed to make it clear that she was thanking everybody and all of that kind of stuff. And it's fine. Nothing really wrong with that. If she felt if that made her feel better or made the donors feel better, or if she thought that was necessary. I didn't think it was necessary at all. But if that made people feel better, so be it, right? So anyway, like I said, I was over at the shop and I heard the whole discussions going on over there with regards to the young lady who said that she was blind or going blind and in need of surgery. Now, I had not been following up the story. I'm not going to lie. I was ignorant of when it started and how it continued because I was busy doing my own thing. Now, another graduate clarified to me that indeed the request for assistance was around 3 weeks ago. Is that right? Graduates, do we know for sure? So I was told that it was about 3 weeks ago. Let me turn the camera on. So I was told that it was around 3 weeks ago. And let me take off this damn green screen. I don't like it when it flickers like this. I don't like it when the green screen flickers. Yeah, so I was told that it was around 3 weeks ago. Graduates, I don't know how true that is. But if it was 3 weeks ago that the help was asked for, or the platform was approached and the funds were raised, are we saying that it's 3 weeks since we've had an update from the young lady? Because the way it was going on, it sounded to me as though it was just a week ago or so. So, Una, please clarify for me. Because if it was indeed 3 weeks ago, now I have to take a different viewpoint because that's a bit long. Una, no, Una can clarify. Somebody clarify for me before I say anything else. Was it 3 weeks ago the money was raised? 3 weeks to a month. Oh. So are we saying that 3 weeks to a month ago, we've heard 4 weeks since the live donation? Oh. Honestly, First Lady, I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was probably last week or so. Thank you, it is what it is. I thought this was about last week, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that's what it was. Because I haven't been following her story. Because that's why I said, what's her page? Let me go have a look. And then I had a look and saw that she was in the Star and saw, that it was that it was a nationwide plea for help, not just a random person with an issue reaching out to Auntie Donna. So we're saying that it is nearly a month ago. No, man. Sorry, my perspective changed. My perspective changed because I was like, well, maybe she not had enough time, get a little time, because if it's just a week, in my head is a week, I'm going to really understand. if it's just a week or so ago, then maybe because I think because Auntie Donna was mentioning that she messaged her March 9th, backside. She messaged her and asked her what was the update and so, and she gave a specific date and she said, no, it's like she said Tuesday and no, it's Friday. So I think that this is about a week in the making situation. I don't know if it was the weekend before or so, but as I said, I haven't been watching everything in the shop. I've been busy doing my own thing. So if we're talking about donations were given from the 9th of March, and no, is what? The 10th of April, that is a month. That is a month. And that no donor has heard anything from her since then. There's been no video, no update in a month. That's not responsible. Everybody understands that, you know, she's going through her illness. She's blind. She waiting for surgery or she wanting surgery. But I'm sorry, that's not responsible. I'm sorry, it's not. Because at the very least, if she is incapable of updating, she has got a support system to the point where she has a GoFundMe. So another person should be able to come out on her behalf and say that actually, let us update people to let them know what is going on. I'm not saying she has to do so. I'm not saying that she has to come on any live. I did see the comments and they were harsh. I didn't see what was happening when it was this whole sunshine thing and sunshine dollar ray. I mean, I'm not TikTok. You know, I'm not into TikTok. I'm not into TikTok, these TikTok personalities. I stay away from the place. I think it is scary. So I stay away from TikTok, right? So I wasn't paying attention to any of that. But we're talking about 1 month ago, money was raised towards your surgery. This is 1 month later. You were prompted. You said, okay, no problem. And then today, nothing. People on TikTok are saying that they saw you join the live and still no commentary. Well, that part I'm not too fussed about because it was a tough room. So maybe she don't want to come out. I'm not going to bash her because I know that her case is clearly legit, right? She came back again on Donna's TikTok since then to explain why she didn't get through with the visa. Oh, okay. So there was another appearance about the visa. So the money was raised, then the visa failure, and then she came on again to talk about the fact that she never get it. Because I heard that story. I did hear on another blogger's page that the other person that she was with got the visa and she never get it, right? That's embarrassing. I mean, you go for something and you don't get it, and you need it for your, and then the person where I go with you when I need it for them get it. That must make you feel away. So that's why I was saying that maybe she feel away about the visa. I did say that maybe she feel away about the visa situation. But me name put together nothing about meetings here Sunshine raise the money. That's how ignorant me is. I thought it was Sunshine who raised the money. Me never know say Planka Shop did I do all of this fundraising. Because you see, when DMG is on the TikTok thing and then she's on live, I often clock out because me like full attention. And when it's like she a focus point over there, so I may see the side of her face, to me, it's not as engaging. So I tend not to be very active or participatory in those lives. But it's just the heat of the conversation that got me hooked in this one. I you know, I love excitement. So a month of raising funds, came back, spoke about the visa. From what I understand, on Leggy's live, she got bashed during that process on other people's platforms as well, which would make her intimidated, embarrassed to come back out on a live. Don't care about lives. She don't need to come live. That's not relevant at all to come live. But I do think, in the interest of transparency, it should be done that she updates people on the process. It does not have to come from her at this point. It could just be a simple video or even a voice note. If she's having trouble with her site, maybe her voice is fine. and she can send a voice note to say Rate. She can send a number so that she's contactable on WhatsApp, because everybody got WhatsApp, everybody got a phone. You understand? Her cousin got through and she didn't. However, she didn't follow Sunshine's instructions as to how to go about the interview, and it went to hell from there and the comments. And this is the thing, the comments can be really awful. Because even on the live today, it was getting really bad. I never said nothing bad about her. I just said, well, maybe she feel away. Maybe, maybe she feel away. And she don't want to come out. And I also suggested reach out to the organizer of the GoFundMe, ask her if things have progressed, because maybe she know what go on. But as I said on Legacy Live, there is a lesson to be learned. The lesson is simple. Never, ever, thank you, Dawn, for the reminder. Double tap the screen, please. Never, ever do any charity for any recipient again without physical contact, is the lesson to be learned here. Because who to tell if a simple phone call could not have solved this problem? You see, the thing is, people are saying, we're asking why the fuss if the GoFundMe is still there. What I understand, listen, I'm not familiar with GoFundMe. I don't do GoFundMe. I don't do GoFundMe. Yeah, I've donated to GoFundMes, but I don't do it. I don't know the ins and outs of the background working, but I do remember one thing. And that came out in a previous situation where people were dealing with GoFundMe and they had to refund monies and stuff. It came out. So what I understand from GoFundMes is that money can be withdrawn from a GoFundMe and it can look as though the money is still sitting there. Now, that makes looking at a physical GoFundMe tricky, because you're looking at the face value and it will tell you how much money was raised so far, who was the last set of donors and all of those kind of things, right? The top donors and all of that. You will not see any evidence of the money being withdrawn. It is for this reason why I kind of stay away from GoFundMes where the cases are a little bit, like, for example, and I'm not bashing Tiger, because I'm sure Tiger has good intentions, but you see, when it comes to me and GoFundMes, I don't trust them. So right now, like, Tiger is raising money for Jaden's private investigator. He's asking for $6,000 for a private investigator for the Jaden Smith case. I think it's gone to nearly 2,000, if not reached 2,000 already. And to me, it's like, then what are Tiger do? Which private investigator is this, and how is it going to work, and where this person gonna, you understand? And I feel uncomfortable donating to that, because I'm like, well, I don't know if Tiger take out some of that money there already and I buy Nike or with it. I'm just saying, I don't know, because I don't know you. I don't know Tiger. So I don't feel confident. You understand? I think when it comes to, because you see, the original way that Planka Shop used to work is like, the people were vetted, then they're known to, the shop. We get the background story where you see them TikTok place there. TikTok is like a sea with one woolly shell in it. And you don't know where you're going to dip and come up with. You understand? Hey, bro Shaka, you don't know where you're going to dip and come up with. Last thing the lady said on that live is that she is now researching where else she can go to do the surgery since the visa application fell through. Okay, so maybe there is a process, but talk in it, talk, because you see, when you come to, let me tell you something. Because this is why it's not nice to take money from people. And this is no disrespect to the donors. Because I'm not going to say that all the donors don't give with a willing heart. Most do, okay? But even those who do can find themselves caught in this trap, because nobody likes a feeling of betrayal. And nobody likes to feel as though they're being taken for a fool or for a ride. Because in this day and age, money not easy to come by. You understand? And not everybody can just go somewhere and say, give me a $20, give me a $30, and then get it. People have to really grind. And when they give, it's like they're giving a part of themselves and a part of their experience and a part of their hard work, their blood and their sweat. And they want it to be appreciated, because sometimes when people give, it's actually a sacrifice on their part. As in, I could have bought a pair of earrings. I'm going to do without. It's a big weight for me. I know I could have do without those earrings and I could give that earring money towards this. So they deny themselves something in order to give. You understand? Because it's very rare you have people with surplus that can just give and do bat an eyelid. Life too hard for that, right? So it's still a sacrifice. So they need to know that they're not being taken for a fool, they're not being taken for a ride. But you see, because I thought it was a short period of time within which she got the money and now it's being chased, I was like, well, why are we so upset about this? Or why are we, why are we feeling like something not right yet? But now I'm fully understanding that the money was raised a month ago. It is a long time. It is a long time. Hi, young pumpkin. Um, it is a long time, but the people in the comments were terrible. Exactly. And that would be why she don't want to come on the platform, because who wants to come on a platform that's dragging you? Nobody's gonna do that. Worse, you're already vulnerable, you're not well, all kind of things. I mean, I went on her page. She looked like a hot girl still, but I'm not gonna lie, very auntie. But her circumstances changed, and it changed quite rapidly, because when I looked on her page, her last picture or video when she in a basically dancehall attire, looking like she's going to a party, was a month before this situation with her eye. So I don't know the backstory. Like I said, I wasn't listening, so I don't know. I don't know how she ended up with this eye situation, right? But it was a very quick deterioration. Not true. Very, very quick deterioration. But like I said, you can accept money to help you out of a situation. Nothing is wrong with that. You're in need, you're gonna take it. Nobody should hold you ransom to it at all. It shouldn't be the case. It's like, say, when somebody borrow money from you, don't wait until they ask you back for it. Say you're supposed to pay it back, and a lot of people have this attitude. You're supposed to pay it back, but something else happened and you're still short. Don't go quiet and don't say anything. Be the first person to approach them and say, listen, I'm supposed to give you back this money, but this is my situation. Either them will cost you or them will understand, right? But some people just go quiet and then them end up getting dragged because give me back money. You understand? Kind of situation start to happen. It's the same kind of mindset. Somebody gives you something for a particular purpose. And I understand that on the live she gave a time frame. Is that what I'm understanding? That, oh, she went to bed and woke up not seeing Jesus. But was there a time frame? I understand from the live, as I said, I was not there, that allegedly she gave a time frame that within a certain amount of weeks she would lose sight completely. I don't know if that's right, but if that's the case, then the time frame has gone. And if the time frame has gone, maybe she has. So there could be a lot of things that she's going through, right? And we cannot discount that. But depression and all of that can lead to these things, but get somebody else to step up on your behalf and to just let people know either that things have gone worse. She said the surgery was urgent, retina detachment. The problem about the money is the people who don't give the money keep talking and talking about people money and making situations seem bad. Well, people have been asking. It's I cannot now say that the donors who have asked and don't know what happened to the lady are unreasonable. I cannot say that. It's been a month. And I think that's what she was told. Okay. And I think that because it's been a month, they are entitled to ask the question. Remember, a lot of people give on the influence of the platform holder. And I can understand why DMG would feel very uncomfortable. But I would encourage her that instead of basically coming out to say, you have to give up money and all of that, find a way to get that girl's number. Because tell you what, and this is how I would have dealt with it behind the scenes. Didn't Sunshine have to arrange for her to go to an interview at the embassy? Because if that's the case, Sunshine have our number. Doesn't isn't there some contact between Sunshine and Auntie Donna? I don't know. I'm asking these things and I'm just thinking things through logically. And if so, then it's a matter of Sunshine, give me your number, because you would have had to have been in touch with her, the cousin, etc., when you're organizing this visa situation. And if that's the case, then I need a contact with her because I just need an update. I would have been calling. You understand? Because maybe verbally I'd be able to hear more. Right? The surgery can be done in Jamaica, but it's quite expensive. They told her the places in Jamaica that can do the surgery and the machine's not working. As we she started looking as to elsewhere. And Auntie Donna only tried to contact her when she's live and the girl could do anything at that time. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I have mercy on both sides, guys. I understand both sides. I understand why Donna would be like frustrated and the donors will be asking questions because it's been a month. I can understand no. But I can also understand why she would want to come on live, why she wouldn't necessarily want to step up at that point or do anything at that point because of all the dragging. And so, and I can also appreciate donors wanting some kind of update. But I'm saying that sometimes when these things happen, people fall to pressure. The things that are said on social media, it affects you. And even though people are saying they don't look, only looking, everybody looking, everybody listening, and hearing stories. And those of you who are familiar with TikTok will be hearing stories. And those of you who are familiar with Sunshine will be hearing stories. Because I have featured Sunshine before on my platform when she was in some other bangarang. But wasn't there some bangarang with Sunshine and somebody else? What's your name? But one house and who house look better? That's how sit about who house pretty, who house nice, who house clean, who house who have nice furniture, who own them furniture and all isn't there. So there was that. So I am aware that these characters are like their personalities, right? But other than that, people are gonna have their opinions about this whole concept of charitable giving and who can be trusted and who can't be trusted. You understand? Yes, that's where the young miss messed up. She wanted her cousin to go with her instead of letting someone from the Sunshine's organization go with her. Oh dear. Sunshine did call into Auntie Donna's life subsequently and said the recipient did not follow instructions. Yes, that's what somebody else said, Dawn. Yeah, and it just went how it went. But you know, it really is about opening up on communication, thinking about how to problem solve when certain things come to the fore. And like I said, Sunshine would have had her number. Sunshine would have had her number. So it really is about trying to get through to her directly. And it should not have to fall on the responsibility of the donors to do that. But because of this knock on the donor's door for transparency, that's a move I would have taken. Just to find out what is going on, because messaging is not getting me anywhere. So I'm going to need a hard contact for you. So like I said, there's a lesson in all of this, right? Never give without physical contact for the recipients. Vetting is something that we mustn't, you understand, just to put your minds at ease, everybody's minds at ease. But I should be able to pick up the phone and call you. I should be able to video call you. All of those things are very important, right? To avoid all of this stuff. I think this is the way we could have avoided it. Communication is key. Yeah, people will be suspicious. Yeah, people are going to be suspicious. We're living in a time when scamming is rife and chopper them there, and you know Jamaica has become chopper central. You see what I say? So me can understand why people are all nervous and bummy, and when you invest your money in charitable giving, you're thinking that it is a legitimate cause and nobody wants to be taken for a ride. But what I can see, from what I can see, the young lady does have a medical need. So I don't think in that respect there is any dishonesty. Maybe there has been changes in terms of updates to her medical report. Maybe it's worse, maybe it's better, but either way, take it. Even if she does not wish to participate in communicating on social media anymore because of her recent experiences, it is advisable that she gets somebody else to do it on her behalf. It doesn't have to be by video. If she don't want it by video, she can get somebody to message Donna Donna number there about your place. She can do it like that or message her on Facebook, etc. You understand? But I just think that maybe not on Facebook. I don't think she really check her messenger. So I think it's just important that you communicate in some way or shape or form, because it has been a month and that is actually a long time. It takes a month for most people's salary to be paid. And if after a month you put in work and you don't get paid, you're going to riot or you're going to strike, right? So it is a good reason for people to get up in themselves and wonder what the hell is happening, because it's been a month. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Right. So, update on the Jaden Smith case. I did take a walkabout on Chat and Laugh's page. And Chat and Laugh was doing a number of lives. I think one of our live got reported. She did have to come back and all kind of something. No, she never have to come back. She did have to cut the live. So she was ranting and raving about Jaden's family members and particularly the neighbor of Jayden. Donna told her to put a video on her own platform and she doesn't want to. I don't think she wants to do any videos. I don't get the impression she wants to do nothing. I don't get the impression she wants to put her face out there. Think about it, yo. You go for a visa. Just think about it, you know. I make you think about it, you know. Me and my cousin go for a visa. Me get the opportunity for go abroad, for get my items sort out, to get the surgery done. We go for a visa. Me and the person with the medical problem. Me go and me mess up my interview. Me not get it. And the person where go with me, oh, no need nothing, she get it. Me look like the mogo. Cause me sick and me not get it. Them thing that are young people, you know, I know big people like us, where we feel shame tree kind of dead from we push our picnic. You understand? But I'm saying, them didn't happen in a little area. You probably all I say, oh, I'm gonna go to America to go and get people. Them things say, yes, she go fly out now, she'll get this, she'll get that, and then you say, bam, your cousin gets it, and you don't get it. People will laugh off of you. I tell you, you know, I take one look on her and I'm gonna say, this is a hot girl, you know. There gonna be people who are jealous. You understand? So when them hears that she don't get it, them gonna laugh. Shame tree. You understand? Them gonna laugh. So she probably don't want to put her face out here again. Because she has not posted for ages. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying that if she comfortable, do a video. If she not comfortable, send a message. And better yet, give the lady a number. And then the lady and you can communicate without any of this life situation going on. But yeah, it's like I saying. So, Chat and Laugh did a go on and on about Jaden Smith's neighbor. So remember, guys, when the aunt did come on the interview, our one live, she come and she say that she gave Jayden an umbrella. And the umbrella that she gave Jayden gave the umbrella away to a child. To a child, right? She made it look as though it was some random child that had an umbrella from Jaden Smith. It turns out that it was no random child, allegedly, because I haven't verified any of this. Allegedly, it wasn't a random child. According to Chat and Laugh, she has got images and evidence that she plans to release in the next however long of the child who took the umbrella from Jaden Smith. And allegedly, the child who took the umbrella from Jaden Smith was actually the neighbor that lives beside where Jaden Smith live or used to live, the neighbor's daughter. It was the neighbor's daughter. Hold on there. So we're going to listen to We're gonna listen to Chat and Laugh and what she have to say, right? Let me put up my background. Hold on 1 second. So people know that this is what we're dealing with. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna make you listen to this. All right.
Junior daughter will live next to it. Goddamn. On a too evil. On a too evil. On a too evil. Anne-Marie, you know exactly what happened to Jaden Smith. And you know, say it wasn't a stranger. Jayden gave the umbrella. Jayden gave it to Junior stepdaughter. Junior daughter will live next door. Junior and Jayden. Junior daughter and Jayden go to primary school, then them go to CM school. On a too evil. On a too evil. On a stop it. Stop it. And push out the little baby. Push him out. Push out Jaden Smith. They're going to pull there. 2 weeks. I'm not even a 72 hour. I'm going to one time to think about this. Think about one. Because it's why I put up the picture. Me not come back out here. Me just push out everything. Me tired of this headache. Me tired of the going around. Me is not no damn detective. You understand? Me tired of the going around and me headache and this. Right now, me have the evidence. Me gonna just push it out. Because if the police tell me that do them job, they would have get this. Just like how them send the picture to me. But I was tired of the foolishness with the order. Tired of it. Tired of it, Junior. You have a daughter to protect. Protect your daughter and do the right thing. And come clean and tell us who get why you never come and tell us say the daughter get the umbrella. Come clean. You have your daughter to protect. You claim say you're afraid of the family. So me now go put out you for your daughter get the problem. But come out and talk the truth, man. Go and talk the damn truth. Your daughter will protect. And your only reason why I'm going to put it out tonight and tomorrow, your daughter, you have a 13-year-old child who have a think, me have a be a mother, me have a think like a mother. That's the only reason why we not put it out. People say put it out. No, you cannot do stuff like that when a child is involved. You have to use wisdom. Make Junior come out and talk the truth. You need to do it for your daughter. Come out and talk the truth, or else the picture coming out. Junior, come out and talk the truth. Come out and talk the truth. Your daughter who get Jaden Smith umbrella. We have all our name.
Jesus.
Your daughter who get the umbrella. Nobody ever talk about listen to the wicked woman. Only listen to the wicked woman. So we literally thinking as a parent now, right? Do you look at that as being smart to give away the umbrella when you came home a couple of days ago wet up? No. Okay. So what he was spoke to that child. When he said that the father called me and said that the child came over with Jayden umbrella. So I asked the father to let me speak to the child, and he allowed me to speak to the child. I asked him, did you bring home Jayden umbrella? He said yes. I said, why did Jayden give you the umbrella? And then the rain was still falling. He said that Jayden said he was waiting on somebody. Okay. Jayden left there at 3:49 because I was there to watch all the footage with the detective. Jayden left the little Caesar at 3:49. That was the last time they ever pick him up. 3:49. Of course, the big girls they want coming out the box. 3:49. On the ear for herself. On the ear. The little boy when she claimed because she said she and then him. It was Julia daughter. Junior, your daughter give you the umbrella and you can't go give the woman the same evening. Junior, what make you lie and wicked, sir? Anne-Marie, make you lie and wicked, sir. Eh? What make you lie and wicked, sir? No, said the so, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, you know, say the junior daughter get the umbrella. The next door neighbor. But make it not come out and they talk the truth. What did I cost you if you just come out and talk the truth? No, because you do something to Jaden Smith. So that's why I come out and lie. But me ask you if you come out and talk the truth to them. Because you see, if nobody can find Jaden, everybody has shit now. Because everything I push out. Call Ush police. Call Ush police. Call Ush police. Police don't close case. Call Ush police. You got call police, the lady. Police, evidence of the pop all over for police to work. Call Ush police. The police are the work for people down there.
Police, them not doing nothing.
The police, I look how we get this. We don't know police, we know about police work, I look how we get this. Them not do them work, them would get it. Lady, go from here, sir. Call Ush police. Call Ush police. Police care about Jayden. 7 months him gone. And who you still care about Jayden? Internet.
Yep.
Is the police care about Jaden Smith? Why 2 weeks? Ask yourself if you know what is a minor. You know what is a minor child? For push her out there like that. You know what is a minor child?
Bro, Shaka, I think it's a go.
You know what is a child?
It's not gonna wrap up anytime soon.
You think somebody just want push up for hurt the little girl? You think want something else happen to somebody else's child? I could have pushed this out right now, but we can't do it because of the little girl. Cannot do it. You understand? A child is involved. You understand? A child is involved in this. You understand? Junior, the father need to come and talk the truth. Him and Anne-Marie. Them owe us that to come talk the damn truth. You understand? Them owe us that to come talk the truth because now I have this in my hand. Them need to come and talk the truth. Junior daughter got the thing. The umbrella. It need to come out and talk the damn truth and stop beat around the bush.
So, shortly after that, her live started to get multiple reports, and I don't know who did that work behind the scene, but they were trying to shut her up. Heavily, they were trying to shut her up. She realized that they were trying to give her all kinds of, flags on her account. So before she lose her account, she did come off of the something. And so she'll come back a couple of days later. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you who this junior is, right? I'm gonna show you who this junior is, so you have an idea of who Chat and Laugh was talking about. Let me just switch my camera around. The next door neighbor. Isn't there a way to take off clear the screen? That's it, clear display. Okay, here we go.
You know what hurt me?
Right, so this is Junior.
Run up on everything. You know what hurt me? No, the mother now come out. No, the mother come out and go on like this. Oh, from day one, why all along when anything was alive, nobody, you wasn't there. Look, you passed a daily pan road, and you pass it as a mother, and you pass him as a son like you know, said nobody. So why now all of this and now you come and show love now when it's always be the auntie. The auntie was his background. And auntie look about him birthday for everything thing that he could have gone to school. When my go to school and she making that evening class, everything, where were you? Guys, wanna take on the ears and hear what him say? I wonder if you don't hear what him say.
So,
when Jayden
listen.
was alive, on the ear what me say, when Jayden was alive, the neighbor come out and said, remember the family that we might and them find missing report. These are the same family. I run up and down in a Jamaica and I hide. Them not there, them yard. I don't think them gone on a fire.
When Jayden was alive. So he's referring to the mother. That's the neighbor. That was Junior, the picture that I held up. And he's saying that that mother was nowhere to be found when Jayden was alive. So what is he saying? No, Jayden dead. And this was said long before the police said them hit a brick wall, you know, people. Long before the police said them hit a brick wall. So he has declared Jayden dead. And this man, his daughter, collected the umbrella. Collected the umbrella from Jaden Smith. This child was the last child. Anne-Marie removed the child's name from the discussion. Removed. She didn't even give a description to say my neighbor's daughter. Because she never have to call the child name. It's a child. She never have to call the neighbor name, especially if he's a person who would be considered a key witness or the daughter might be considered a key witness. None of them had to mention any names, but Anne-Marie certainly could have said, my neighbor's daughter got the umbrella, so I know. You know, when she had tried to convince you, say, I run away, Jayden, run away. That would be a definite way of saying, listen, she saw. These are children who play together. She saw Jayden's last point just by Megamart there or Little Caesars or wherever the hell he was. After eating food, and then him say he's going to go and meet his cousin. But remember, it's that little child heard the discussion, heard him say, I'm going to meet my cousin. By removing that child's name and making it look like he's some random friend, some random child at school, then the police would have no reason to interrogate and to hear that discussion. I'm going to meet my cousin. You understand? Right? Jayden said he was going to meet his cousin. And that came out in discussions that were had with the witnesses around. And it was the principal. And then after that, it was woman named Seven who highlighted that Jayden said he's going to meet his cousin. And he told a child that he gave the umbrella to. But yet she removed the name of the child and go like say she don't know who the child is. So to me, you know, such as a love, she go with herself. I tell you, she's very emotional. But to me, Chat and Laugh's point is that, was this child one of the key witnesses where a specialist officer would have had to sit down and speak with in order to get information? Do we have officers who are trained to interview children because there is a special skill involved there to get them to disclose? Did that child witness get interviewed? Where did this whole thing about I'm going to meet my cousin, where did that come from? Did the child actually hear Jayden say that? She's mentioning that Junior was afraid. Junior was afraid of the family and protecting his daughter. What is he protecting his daughter from? And what reason does he have to be afraid of the family? So these are the key questions and where we're at with the speculations around the case. Like I said, it is still a matter of sounding it out and keeping a record, a running record of everything of significance that we hear, so that over time, should anything else pop up that is significant, we can say that we were there making sure that justice for Jayden stayed on the agenda. But this is where we're at with that right now. We're going to move to the final topic because listen to me. One thing that Chat and Laugh said that resounded with me was that Jamaica has lost touch with caring for and safeguarding our children. And it is no joke. It's no joke at all. Imagine we have got shelters in schools. Me go over way in live, go listen to people. When I saw that was his title, me run go over there too. We have got families still living in shelters after Hurricane Melissa, however many months later, right? This is October, Hurricane Melissa. So what? November, December, January, February, March, April. We're going on 6 months now. Half a year. Adults in shelters still, despite how many millions of funding we have received. And trust me, Jamaica get a woolly pump money. And me no see. People wanna see what's going on with the money what we get. Wanna see what's going on with the shelters and the housing that's supposed to be being built. That 6 months on, we still have 81 people in shelters. 81 people in shelters does not also account for the people who are living in shacks, you know. Because them, they still there, you know, with tarpaulin over their head, you know. You understand? So anyway, we have people living in shelters 6 months on. Imagine children are now complaining that they are seeing adults adugo brawling in front of them in high school because they are using schools as shelters. That they must see adults do the things them in front of them in a school. It's not like say them a walk in and catch them, you know. Them blatantly do the things them. Now, listen to me. I can understand. It's 6 months on, you want normality. You want to live a normal life. Right? So, them things that have to go on. But you're in a school. Children are being educated under tents to facilitate families that are in their buildings. You understand? And yet they must see people that do the things them in high school grounds. So anyway, the Jamaica Teachers Association, the principal, the JTA, them a ball out. Right? So the president for the JTA, Mark Malaver, claims that he reported to the minister, Desmond McKenzie, that this was happening. This is the Minister of Education. He reported to the Minister of Education that the children them are still things them and that it is a safeguarding concern. It's a child protection and safeguarding concern for those kids. So, this is to what was placed in Jamaica Gleaner. This date, let me see, the 7th of April. Speaking at today's first day of the JTA's 2026 Education Conference at the Princess Grand Hotel in Hanover, Malaver said that the association has received reports of students and teachers being unable to use their classrooms where shelterees engage in unsavory activities while occupying the buildings. In the building, them a do it. Then can't use it, but of course, the people them a go around the building and they must see what go on. You understand? Those reports, he said, including shelterees engaging in sexual activities in full view of students, as well as teaching supplies going missing following their occupancy of the schools, while students and teachers have to conduct their classes under tents. When we hear the claim by the Minister of Local Government that there is no displacement, we must ask, what do we call it when students are removed from classrooms and placed in tents? What do we call it when schools operate on a rotation system because classrooms are occupied by shelterees? We're not talking about garbage and garbage collection. Neither are we talking about parks and markets or parish council roads. What we are talking about are conditions of service of our members. The JTA has both a right and a duty to represent and protect the interests of our members, and we will do so without apology. So, on the 3rd of March, Mackenzie reported that there were disruptions by displaced victims of Hurricane Melissa who were being housed at school properties following the passage of the Category 5 hurricane. The JTA had previously called for the shelterees to be relocated from the schools, and the Ministry of Education subsequently reported that 8 schools were being used. So, then I asked them, take them out. Take them out, you know. So that was one of the key things that went forward. That listen, this is happening, do something about it. Then here what Desmond Mackenzie come back to the JTA and ask. Desmond Mackenzie called for the head of the Jamaica Teachers Association to provide evidence supporting his allegations that students are being exposed to sexual acts by people in school shelters. What? He wants evidence. What evidence you want? You want soft porn or you want it hard? What do you want the teachers on site to do to capture a video of children looking on while the people in the classroom are go? Oh, no, sister, some of the people in our government don't have no sense. What kind of evidence can be provided in a situation like that? I would really like to know. Can you please, in the comments, can you give me some ideas? Because I am at a loss as to how something like this can be documented. If the children have come and they have placed reports, the written reports of the teachers receiving these safeguarding concerns should be enough. 1. 2. What is going to the Ministry of Education going to do? This is what we want to know. The Ministry of Education can only focus on getting these shelters emptied of these people and the children back in, pushing and prodding the government to rehouse them. But in terms of safeguarding the children from seeing slackness, what is the Ministry of Education going to do? In any educational institution, who is the head of safeguarding? Who is the person who's in charge of safeguarding in any school? Not the principal, them. Maybe him needed for personal diary. Almost that. Who is the head of safeguarding in any school? Not the principal. Not the principal. So when the principal sees these things and see adults doing these things in full view of students, what should the principal do about it? Let me tell you something. It must be a case that you ensure that boundaries are in place and children cannot go near where evacuees are. You cannot have the children meandering with strangers. If adults are on site, them are going to do what adults do. You understand me? That's something where you now can't stop because they are trying to have normality. Relationships and physical enjoyment is a part of it. So the only thing a head teacher or principal can do is this. Stop the children from going anywhere near. There needs to be boundaries in place. It needs to be a cordoning off of those sections so that the children cannot be going. Then I saw somebody could have done their finger the pity them. Let me take off this thing in the background. You understand? I saw them could have done their finger. They pity them. Because they pity them I got to where the adults are. Right? Them I see the things them. Them I mix up with the strangers who are there in the shelters. Hello. Exactly, Monica. They are mixing and mingling with these strangers, these adults. So then they must see adult things and then they must hear adult things. All kind of situations can come out of that. If somebody a burn a spliff and drop it, can they not go listen? Picnic can just pick up half a spliff. If they can be in a situation where they can visibly see that, that means that there is nobody, there is no security around the boundaries of where the shelter is and where the school starts out in a yard in a tent. You cannot have children and adults crossing boundaries when you cannot account or vouch for every single adult that is in that situation. The date that the government has given to remove people from these shelters is the 8th of May. The 81 people they claim are in shelters will be removed to housing on the 8th of May. I'm not holding my breath. But more and more I see these situations and I realize that our government does not give one toss about children. They don't care about education either. When I listen to the fact that Pembroke Hall Secondary had the lowest literacy rate in the whole flipping country, that you had year 7s, year 8s and higher who could not read, I said to myself straight away that the Ministry of Education is failing. Literacy is something that needs to be at the top of priorities when it comes to education. Literacy and numeracy. Those are the things that enable your society to become competitive with the world. If you cannot be literate, you are automatically disenfranchised, which means straight away you are at the bottom of the pit. You understand? So when you are not investing, listen, I just the other day, I listen to one blogger. And him said something will lick me for 6. Him said that this government has built no new schools. I said to myself, so what? So I actually went and did the research. And I am not Liberate or PNP. But it's true. How many terms, how many years of being in power and you've built not one, not even an infant school, nothing? They have expanded schools. They've added buildings here and there. But they've not built any new schools. That's concerning to me. Then we have got situations where children are being allowed to pass through the system with an inability to read. What rapid and active interventions are in place to ensure that our children are literate and numerate? Because it means that your primary system is failing. Because primary school is where phonics happens, where decoding happens, and synthesizing begins. And by the time they get to secondary, they should be fluent in both comprehension and the ability to decode. So if you've got children who are entering year 7, year 8, and they can't read, it's one thing if they can read and they can't understand in a brethren. That's a different something. I want you to understand. It's a totally different matter, you know. Because you have children. If you were to ever do some research on reading comprehension, there are 4 quarters of the reading diagram. There are children who cannot decode at all, phonics poor. There are children who can decode, but don't have one bit of understanding. There are children, if you read to them, them understand, but then can't read. And then you have children who can do both. You understand? That's where you're aiming for. This one, your comprehension good, but you can't read, you're in a problem. Me have to read the story to you if you forget it. You understand? Then one here, then can't read, then I have clue what they read say. You have to just try bring them round. And our government just sits back and don't even build intervention centers, if it's even that to backside. Build intervention sections that you can send these children who are disenfranchised, send them to extra lessons and pump money into that. Pay the teachers extra for tutor. I tell you something, you know, people. When me in high school, literacy never have nothing for me. I did my O levels because O level, what we call it, O level though. Over here at GCSE, we call it O level. I did my English language and English literature, not in fifth form. I did it in fourth. I did it early, and I got a 1 in both. You understand? My literacy always, but you see my numeracy? Hey, huh? Can't count ya. Terrible at maths. It took me years. By the time I got to GCSE level and time for me to do everything. By the time me get to sixth form, me never did that do maths. But you see, when me have to do my O levels and I do maths, extra lesson my mother send me, you know. Extra lesson my mother send me, you know. I'm going to tell you something, I used to go to this guy, I can't remember his name. But me used to go there. Campion kids used to go there. I was the only one there from Arden. Campion kids used to go there. George's kids used to go there. 1 and 2 Immaculate kids used to go there. I want top guy where we used to go to. My mother spend her money and send me. I may tell you, so the man open up my eye to maths. By the time I finished with me, my mental calculation was like that. When I go back at school, my maths teacher look at me and say, are you that? Are you that? Me, I still got a front now because I still got a back because I couldn't do it. Still got a front now. But what gave me that confidence? My mother invested in me. She sent me to extra lessons. She made sure I did not fail. You understand? So who is going to invest in our kids? Certainly not this Ministry of Education where I ask for evidence of porn. No, you tell me. No school built. No extension centers for literacy and numeracy. And we have a whole bunch of don't speak me we can't read. And I'm using that quite stereotypically, but no child remains dunce forever. You understand? But is that you want to churn out into the world? So when people them start talk about chopper and them start talk about scamming and them talk about this, and because them want to do what them see and go up on the street. And they want to wear dunce bag. Because them give up on the ability to read and to understand. You know, and then on a turnaround, I want to stereotype these kids. When they're doing absolutely nothing about their education, you still have got children being educated on the tents 6 months after Hurricane Melissa, and you can't get it together enough that you safeguard them despite the fact that they are displaced. You can't safeguard them. You can't put into the principle them can't think to say, listen, we need fencing for lock off your so. We need for position 1, 2, 3 security guard. We need funding for that. To stop the kids from going into the adult zones and to stop the adults from crossing with the kids. We need police presence. Police are come through the place ever so often so that if anybody in a shelter act up, we can say, oi, that man there. You understand? What are your reporting mechanisms? I never know say they got Arden. My cousin used to go there right down the street. Yeah, man. Used to go Arden. Yeah, the night. I went to Immaculate first. I was a problem child. I was a rebellious child. But we used to go Immaculate to the people. Hey. One of the rules that my Immaculate was that you're supposed to wear full white underwear. So I had my white uniform, a blue tie. You're supposed to wear a white full slip underneath that. And you're supposed to wear a white panty. White panty on a dark skin girl? Hello? That gonna pop. And I'm like, I don't like the idea of wearing white panty. Some people used to just take it lightly and wear black or brown. Yours truly was so rebellious. Yours truly used to wear some French cut panty, shocking orange and green. and pink. Just a piece of the sister them. I'm supposed to wear my shoes, my arm, my socks on my ankle. My push down, you understand when you used to push down your socks down in your shoes. Push down my socks down in your shoes. I just want a little bit of people. Listen, I was naughty. I was naughty. I was naughty. I was a bright girl, but I hated their rules. I thought their rules were so archaic and so stupid. Nah, that was not the school for me. My mother was like, you know something, I'm gonna move you because if I don't move you, they're gonna kick you out. so I ended up at Arden because that was my mother's school. My mother was at Ardenites. So I ended up at Arden because of that. You understand? And then when I got Arden, now I have to be good. I'm gonna go there and buck up and bother people than me. So I saw it go. But yeah. My experience at school was different, yeah, man. But like I said, right, I think it's time that the government realizes that things need to be done. Yes, in terms of getting these people out of these shelters, but likewise, the head teachers, the principals, the school staff need to also ensure that their safeguarding policies are up to par and adapted for the new situation because it's not the regular situation. You have to rewrite your policies and procedures. In that time, you cannot sit back and wait an entire month and a bit until you end up with situations where you remember, we did hear rumors about, essay going on, but it was between adults. You so hear about Pitney, I get. Yeah. So, underneath we get in the act together. And you cannot expect the Ministry of Education to come down from Freedom High Horse and come to the schools and ring fence it and protect on the kids from going and seeing dugu in a classroom. That's a for forget active and do. And if you can't get active, call the damn police if it is that people are violating the rules and regulations that you are putting in place. That's what needs to happen. Boundaries, cordoning off, making sure the children are not interacting with strangers, keeping a completely separate periphery that thou shalt not cross unless serious penalties abide. You understand? Because you can't stop adults from doing what they do when they try normalize their life and exist in an environment where they should still not be in. Despite the fact that Hurricane Melissa gone from Whoopi. It don't make sense. Make sure the kids are safe. That's right. It don't make sense. You understand? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming to catch up with me. I hope you have found the live interesting, edifying, and giving you some food for thought. Do not forget to hit the like and share button before you exit the live. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you guys later. This is your girl, HTK, and I'm out. Bye.